Sweetheart, here in the real world, you don't get a present just for doing your job. I paid the electric bill, nobody got me a gift.
So, in my past TOON episodes, I've done reviews. But in addition to reviews, I also want to use this segment to sort of talk about general topics in animation that I find interesting. Such as that feel when your favorite cartoon is canceled. Now, as any cartoon fan knows, the feeling of an early cancellation is sadly not uncommon. Citing a recent example, Young Justice canceled after just 2 seasons. With a large following on the internet, you'd think this prominent fan base would be enough to keep him afloat, but allegedly it was a lack of toy sales which did Young Justice in. And that is a facepalm of a reason to deny further episodes. But get this, WB even denied Young Justice the chance to crowdfund for a 3rd season, which I'm almost certain would have went through. The 2011 Thundercats, a personal favorite of mine, was yet another victim to the alleged lack of toy sales cancellation. And again. Oh, and how could we forget Sym-Bionic Titan? This one came and went so fast, I never even got to watch it while it was still airing. And by the time I did, well, it was far too late. Sure was cool, though. So what about shows that were never meant to hinge on toy lines? 2 vibrant and colorful comedic favorites of mine, Mission Hill and Ugly Americans, come to mind. And when it comes to entries like these, I guess some things just don't quite catch on for one reason or another, whether they're selling toys or not. Now, it's true, each cartoon has its time and has to go at some point, unless you're one of the rare few which can sort of go on forever-ish and somehow stay relevant and fresh. The aforementioned relevancy and freshness is certainly debated by some on a few of these examples, but it does beg a fascinating question. When it comes to animated cancellations, how soon is too soon?
I think I'll just sleep on it, okay?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? We all remember Teen Titans leaving us sooner than we would have liked, capping out at 5 seasons. But then we also recall something like Jimmy Neutron left us at only 3. And somehow, I feel like I had more of a complete experience with Jimmy Neutron. And then, of course, we have the criminal cancellation of Invader Zim at just 2 seasons, and no such complete experience was felt. Just cold bitterness. So perhaps that too soon feeling has less to do with how long the show ran, and more about whether we have that closure, or whether we feel that the characters even got a chance to hit their stride and come into their own a bit. Maybe that's why Rocko's Modern Life, canceled after 4 seasons, doesn't sting as much, because the show was enjoyable for its time, and we had kind of come to know the characters and get our handle on the whole thing. Thusly, we were kind of okay with what it was. Well, at least I am anyways. One great solution to the cancel too soon problem: closed-ended stories. Of course, the shining North American example being the Avatar and Korra series, which both begin a story with a planned ending, and it feels great to see these plot lines finished in their intended ways. This is of course reminiscent of a more anime style of televised animation, and I for one would love to see more of this brought to the Western mainstream. I voiced my support for doing this with Gravity Falls, as Alex Hirsch has said that he only wants to do 3 or 4 seasons. So, though I love Gravity Falls, I'd rather see it tell the story it wants to tell than be dragged out and drained of all of its life and, yeah, of course, money.
Okay, that I'm not a fan of.
Now, don't get me wrong, I know that these are businesses and they do need to make money in the end. And there's nothing wrong with a successful show continuing to produce episodes. I think there's certainly a space for that, and it shouldn't be done away with by any means. Now, front-running animation empires Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon have both continued to corner their markets and kill it in ratings over the years, so I'm not really the one to suggest they change anything. But it's just some food for thought. So, I've got a question for you guys. If you could bring back one cartoon, no matter how many seasons it had, what would you pick and why? And though this is undoubtedly a sore subject for us all, I'm happy I got the chance to talk about some of these fallen favorites. This has been a TOON Bite, and I'll see you guys next time.